Asako says it has very fine sclerites.
Okay, I'm going to make the executive decision. We're going to collect.
Okay, let's stop the ship.
Pilot, I hope you heard Shirley. She said collect.
All right, let's come out
Thank
video.
you, sir.
Can we come to an easy stop here?
Let's do it.
Thank you, Rich.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything like this.
So this is, you think about putting this in
we
your
have
I don't remember anything like this
report?
from any of the dives.
Not any of our dives for sure. I don't know
taken,
if Diva and Deb saw
Is
anything
already
like this on their dives,
any
but
of the ports
we haven't
open?
seen anything like this on ours.
Yeah, the only thing in there is
And
port inner. There's a
just
little
about
rock.
everything
You might
here
ask
is
if you
new,
can put it
so-
together
And the big,
because
Make
it's
life
just a
easy.
little.
That
That would
hard
be
to get around.
appropriate. Yep.
so now the coral that we're seeing up at like the 3 o'clock position right now, what is that?
Yeah, low
Yeah.
branching and
yeah,
white.
yeah. I'm not asking RV crew to do anything now. They're
Right.
I just
They're busy.
throwing it out to the other scientists. Same thing is over to the left of the sample we're going to collect too. So just throwing it out to the other scientists.
Well, actually, co-pilot, can you hear me?
Say again.
I was just checking if you could hear me. We just had a quick question for you. We can put it in the port inner, but there's a rock in there, or would you rather us separate them out?
No, it's okay. You can put it in the port inner.
Copy that. Thank you.
I think I'll be able to tell it from the rock.
We'll have video of it too to help.
Just to make sure we get these.
The
No,
only-
I'm just kidding you.
Yeah, the only problem with putting it in with a rock is that the rock may move around and crush the sample. I don't know if that's an issue for you folks.
No, it's fine.
It's fine. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
No worries.
I think it's a very small rock.
Now sometimes
It is a very small rock.
Sometimes when the pilots are collecting a piece of coral and there's a commensal or an additional organism, that's what that means. I learned that after watching leg one. Like the crinoids that are sitting on the top. And these guys, crinoids climb up so they can get...
Is there a particular branch
so they can
that you would
get
like
some
to try?
Better...
A particular
minute.
branch. Can we get it at the base?
Oh my goodness, this is a greedy woman. Usually we take a smaller portion.
Well, but sometimes that's important to know.
I mean, I could try for one of the stalks with one of the crinoids on it.
Sure, that would be fine.
That right-hand one looks kind
Yeah,
of
you
alone.
can try
Could
pilot.
just be
Usually
angle.
the crinoids know what's going on and they'll just jump off and, be gone.
Yeah,
Okay.
our targets. So Asako says that this genus Euplexaura is a common genus, but it's also a very messy genus. So it means that it's
Okay, let's
the
zoom out video.
differences among the different species are really hard to
right there.
Yeah, I bet you could come in on the right. or
identify,
straight
pick
ahead
out,
to that right one.
distinguish. Yes,
Yeah.
that was the word I was looking for.
See, I told you folks, we finished one another's sentences.
But she said
So
it's a
just kinda like-
it's a very widespread, very cosmopolitan
get it level.
genus.
It looks like there's room for like the port jaw just to sneak in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Might
Chris
have
is
to wiggle
saying,
it a
Chris
bit from the
Kelly
front.
from Hawaii is saying that
let's-
he's been Googling
When,
some images of that
once I get the
genus.
arm out, we'll zoom in
And
on the
he can
coral
see a lot of shallow water examples, but not any
Follow
deep
the
water
jaw.
ones.
Copy that.
So I left force feedback on. I didn't
Video, did you
turn it off. I just looked at those things.
Try it out. Okay.
Video, co-pilot. Did you hear he's going to want to zoom in on the coral with the mini Zeus here on my screen once we
Okay, hydraulics are up.
once he gets his... No? Is this better?
Hydraulics are up, co-pilot.
Hydraulics are up. You're ready to go.
Yep.
Watch lead nav.
Yeah, go ahead, Nav.
He's going to want to zoom in on that coral.
Is there any idea if this is very brittle or stringy or
I don't think it's going to be brittle. I think it's going to be tough.
tough? So we'll really get it. Or really have to cut it.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I agree. It's probably going to be bendy.
Yeah, bendy.
Okay, folks, this
Okay, give that
manipulator
a shot,
has
video.
two things on the inside of it, and as the pilot
I believe he wants to zoom in on the
moves the
secondary.
manipulator to
Force
collect
feedback.
the
I gotta turn it
sample,
off. Yeah.
Yeah,
there
definitely.
are two blades that are embedded
Copy that, thank you,
interior
video.
to the arms that you're looking at, those silver fingers. that are extending from the manipulator, and the pilots are able to cut off a small branch of a coral, for instance, if we want to sample something like that. And then there are sort of rubber bumpers on the inside that actually grip the piece that has been clipped. So actually it's a little bit easier and more certain that one would be able to pick up a sample of the sort we're going for than it is to pick up a rock.
So Asako said that in Japan, the plexaurids can be found over 1,000 meters deep. Chris is asking her in the chat room, what about the Euplexaura? So Asako said that she's collected Euplexaura deeper than 300 meters.
And right now we're at 297 meters.
Nice.
And the ROV itself is at
Very nice.
about 0.7 meters off the bottom. There's a bit of a slope underneath the ROV.
Okay, I'm going to bring it inbound and then out.
So we have a little piece of this,
Close the door.
and
Yeah, go ahead and.
the crinoid
You're
is
gonna wanna-
still
I
hanging
already did the
on.
pins.
Did the pins?
Yep.
So which one
Let's
is
see if it
extended?
wants
I'm
to
wondering
I have my
whether
port
we
bio
should get a
extended.
bigger piece.
Perfect.
That really
Okay,
wasn't
I'm going
much
to
of
go ahead and bring it
anything.
inboard,
Yeah.
and then I'm going
Bring
to
it
bring out the
horizontally
drawer.
rather than
Okay.
vertically.
Yeah.
Well, the inboard is only for the rock
Yeah, I
box.
hear you.
Oh,
I hear you,
okay.
Chris.
The box.
Okay, then I might as well just
I'm
open
not
the
sure
door
the
here.
pilots heard
Yeah.
that, though.
Yeah, watch lead pilot.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to need a bigger piece than that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
But you can
Do you want that one too?
Yeah,
Should
you
I
can
go
drop.
ahead and stow
Yeah,
this?
Drop
you
that
can go
in.
ahead and stow that and then go back.
Copy
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Opening drawer.
We can take a look once it's in there. I think
I
there's
saw-
a good 2
it'll
or
be
3
the same
inches in there.
sample.
Yeah, so I wasn't here when we made the second collection of the rock.
I don't even see the rock in there.
Yeah.
It was very. It was.
Rock.
I think it left.
You aren't
strange
here
little rock.
then? That's 10.
Wait, it's in the inner?
Yeah.
It's in the inner, but it's okay if they.
Probably shoved in the back corner. It's tiny, tiny.
That went in the big box with. Yes.
Not ideal without force
Yes.
feedback. But
Yeah.
is he hanging on?
Uh-huh.
Sure is.
Still there.
There he goes.
Nice.
Well, the crinoid
Can you zoom in on the
kept
mini
clinging
in the
on
box,
to its
please?
piece of coral, so it is in the bio
got
box.
you.
Let's see if it stays
On the
there.
box, you want to see it?
You want to see the sample, yeah. They want to see if it's
Okay.
a big enough piece of coral.
I got you. Trying to get over there right now. I'm not.
Watch lead pilot.
Go ahead.
There you go.
Is that a big enough coral sample? It looks to be a few inches long.
Okay, Chris, on shore, does this sample look sufficient, do you
Are we
think?
streaming mini Zeus, Tara? Okay.
I think we ought to get another piece, a little bit
Okay.
more than that. That's
Okay.
really small. It's mostly crinoid.
Yep.
Pilot, yes, there is a request to get a little bit more of that coral.
Okay. All right.
He's Chris is suggesting going at it.
I just didn't want to
From
rip it
above?
off its base.
Yes, understood.
But
If you can
okay.
manage to get a few more branches, that would be great. Thank
Okay.
you.
Well, how low down?
Chris, how
Do we
low
need to cut it?
down? How low down would you like the pilot to try to collect the
Let's-
next bit of this?
Let's partially at least, or still
Well,
the
it's always
top-
useful to get some branch points, so I'm wondering if you could go maybe halfway down on
Okay.
That's fine.
part of it, one side of it,
more
and try to
player in there?
grab
Okay.
a couple of the branch points.
Oh,
In addition to, maybe looks like about 4 or 5 branches in one grab.
Okay, pilot, the request is to get some branch points, so where the branches of the coral separate from one another, get a few of those.
Can you come down a couple meter or a few meters? I think you might be.
Am I pulling you?
Possibly. Yeah.
Copy that.
Okay, we're going
I'm
to
sorry,
try
actually,
again.
can you repeat?
Sure enough. Yeah, the request from shore was to try to get some of the branch points, so the separations between the branches, so about halfway down the body of the coral, so that
Okay.
you can get some places where those.
I'm going to go for the right side again.
Okay, that's
And,
great.
I just Hope I can be delicate enough not to knock the whole thing over, but we'll try.
I think Chris was suggesting coming at it vertically with the manipulator.
Well,
unless you
Or
don't,
more horizontal,
unless you don't
I
think
mean,
the
approach it from a horizontal rather
the
than a
cutters
vertical
are
orientation, but whatever they
running
think
parallel to the
best way
fingers.
to get that much of it.
whatever you think you can do. It doesn't look like the manipulator arms could actually grab it if you went vertically. So horizontal's great.
A little bit close here, but should be able to do it.
Maybe co-pilot, can you swing the pilot cam around and see if that helps for an overhead?
Yes, I can. 0, 1.
Sometimes it's surprising.
Sure. Wrong way there, but we'll make it. Where's
Down.
the best
Down.
place to
So you
look?
want to look at the coral there?
Straight over there. Do you
What
want
the
me to zoom in
pilots
there?
are
Yes,
doing now
please.
is
Okay.
they're moving some of the additional cameras. There are many
Come on,
cameras
get
on the
there.
front of this vehicle. There are
Oh, okay.
light bars that have these cameras and lights on them so that you can get
That's what I got, yeah.
a beautiful view, get different shading, and that really helps the pilots have that parallax view that you need in order to be able to pick up a three-dimensional object.
Like if I can cut off a bunch of branches here.
Yeah, that looks fine. Thank you, pilot.
What do you think, Carl?
Yeah.
You know,
Is that shaking your lower jaw touching the rock, or? I guess so. Yeah, I guess. Just go for it. If they want that.
sorry.
There you
Is
go.
that enough?
Oh.
That looks great.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Shoreside says perfect.
Ready
Thank
for me
you.
to open the drawers for you?
Yes, please.
For me to open the drawers for you?
Yes, please.
Okay.
The pilots are pushing
go.
the sample sled forward, and those white boxes you see on the left-hand side are the bio boxes. And then what happens is that whole sled is retracted underneath the vehicle, and that closes those boxes so that none of the biological samples are washed out, or if we get something that is mobile,
A little low.
it doesn't
Hold on.
escape.
What happened?
Just felt like the shoulder was
The manipulator arm's giving the pilots a little bit of difficulty on this dive.
Was the shoulder oscillating? Or?
seemed like it. Seems okay now, but sorry, Carl. It's difficult without force feedback. Yep.
Still stuck a little bit to the manip. There we go. Very
Nicely
well done,
Nicely
pilot.
done.
Thank you so much. I know this is
Do we need to zoom
tough
on there, or can I close
today.
the box?
Let's close the box.
Copy.
Well done.
Okay, let's follow over with Mini Zeus
Copy.
as I stow it.
Okay, Shore Base Science Team, before we move away from here, is there anything in this area that you wanted to look at more closely?
How about that yellow bushy thing that's just upslope from the one we just sampled and slightly to the right of it?
Gotcha.
Looks good.
It's about 1 o'clock from where we are, pilot.
Okay. All right, secure hydraulics, please.
Yeah, they want to go and see that yellow fan that's at about 1 o'clock.
Go ahead and put your mini back in the middle here.
Okay, what did you want to see, watch lead?
It's
Tan.
that yellowish tan fan up at about 1 o'clock from the sample you just collected.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
See it?
Yep. Well, I'm glad we didn't pull the other one out of its base.
Yeah.
He was.
You did great. Yeah, I know. I was
Nice.
so worried about
Yeah.
that.
Asako says thank you too. Great job.
All right, zoom in.
You're getting kudos from around the world. Okay, so 10 those laser dots Patty's pointed out are 10 centimeters across. This looks like the same. All right, let me go back and look and see what it
Touching down.
was.
This looks like one we've seen before,
yeah,
right?
Paracas, is that what it was?
Yeah, I would agree. I think it's that same thing that Sako had ID'd as Parasus.
Parasus, okay.
Zoom in more. Okay.
Beautiful. You can see how these polyps extended. Really pretty.
Our last direction of motion was 100. Is that right?
Yes, 100.
Does that still look good to you, co-pilot?
It still looks good to me.
Looks about right on sonar. Should we go ahead and call it in? I'll push out ahead.
Yeah, I can start getting ready.
Yep.
I'll wait till after this zoom when you're going.
Oh. There we go. Right there. It's moving real slow. That was it.
Yeah.
All right, let's zoom out, please. Thank you.
This has been a really productive dive. We have about 3 more hours of bottom time. And as long as we're proceeding
This is a slightly
and the way
steeper spot.
we've been moving,
Okay.
we will make it all the way to
So
our
I'll let you
end point.
peek up a
But
bit.
we're still looking
Okay.
for that glass.
Look out. A little bit of a local peak over there. 100 still seems
You mean
good
a
according to
glass
me.
sponge?
No,
Still looks
glass
good.
I'll
rock.
push out and you,
Call it in.
Oh,
yeah, let's go ahead
okay.
and call it in.
It was worth a try.
Yes.
I'm going to take a peek at the side of this rock here.
This
come
looks
down.
like it's all encrusted with
Right down to 3
sponges.
meters.
Okay.
Got a ship move for you. 30 meters, bearing 100 at 0.2 knots.
That's fine.
This kind of looks like it has that
Just don't want
kind
the
of
tether to pull me
greenish
as I'm,
tinge.
It
Yeah.
That we
will be
saw.
coming around towards that swing arm.
Greenish yellow,
Yeah,
yeah.
greenish yellow.
Just keep an
And
eye
then,
on it.
yeah, all along the edge,
Yeah.
there's like a row of,
Might be getting close.
I don't know if those are barnacles or sponges.
I think
yeah,
it's
kind
fine.
of between
Yeah, I
that
think my
green
perception's
and the
still off.
black.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
It
Yeah,
will
let's
be
get it
interesting
over
to
now.
take
Yeah.
a close look and
Yeah,
try to figure out.
watch lead nav. Can we go in? Watch
Interesting
lead pilot. Can we
layering
go
there.
in and see that? Yeah, that layering and see because it looks like greenish yellow, then that white
Sure.
bio,
We'll
and
get
then
a
the
zoom on
black.
the boundary layer there.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks.
And
Yeah,
there's
go ahead.
another coral down in
I'll
the
move
lower
closer.
left.
Yeah.
What are those? Oh,
Barnacles. Yeah, it
they-
looks like barnacle. No.
Are
I
you
don't
sure?
know. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, for a minute there, I thought I saw sort of, sort of
Just
fluty
No, that's one.
things.
Those
but
are dead ones.
They are, huh?
Yeah. All right, what's happening here? What's happening here, geologists?
Well, that's a good question. Gulp.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering.
I said barnacles. I already said barnacles. I don't know who's whispering that in my ear, but I already said barnacles.
It's interesting how they prefer the darker rock, clearly.
They definitely do. They definitely do. Well, it's got to have a better substrate. Barnacles like to attach.
Yeah, but why aren't they attaching to the part that's yellowish green?
Because
Or
it's
greenish yellow.
not as hard.
porous, or not as hard.
Yeah.
There you go.
I think that's
So
a
that tells
pilot
us some-
chiming in.
Yeah.
I know.
And he has been on
Got
more
him.
cruises than we have.
More dives for sure. Mary Jo thinks the yellow-green is a coating. So a coating,
Would you say
a
copilot?
mineral
said
coating
bam, you got it.
or biological coating?
Well, since it came from Mary Jo, I'm guessing she thinks it's a mineral coating, and maybe
Yeah, she says
Maybe we should wait.
Right, maybe inorganic, but she doesn't know if it's an in situ weathering product.
in situ means in place.
In place, yep.
And weathering products are, again, I think I mentioned this a little earlier, but for anybody who's just tuned in, rocks do weather
Yeah, was that last move a 15
on the
or 30 meter?
seafloor,
I didn't.
just
30.
as they
Copy.
do
It was a
up
30.
above the
so,
ocean by
quite a bit of a
interaction
rise
with
here.
water. So the minerals in the rocks will
you're
take on water, and then they will
looking good,
change
Andy.
their composition and their molecular structure and turn into different minerals, mostly clays.
Sure. Go ahead.
No, I don't know, Shirley. Are all these guys dead, or are they
No,
just
they're not. No,
closed
no,
up?
no. They're just, yeah.
not opening
And
up?
it looks like another one of those euplexards. Maybe.
And that's the coral. But a lot of these are dead or empty.
Okay. I think
Yeah,
we'll
the
go
dark-
ahead and zoom out and get a wide shot.
Dark stuff has a lot of
I'll start moving.
Copy that. I'm on top of
coarser-
you now.
Can lose the skid star.
larger fragments of volcaniclastics, broken up volcanic material. And that is what's producing this very rough, irregular seafloor. You know, it's kind of hard to imagine that here we are at 294 meters below sea level, and
Just going to get a quick view
these
of the
little
rock, and then
fragments
we'll
of
push
rock
out.
are actually gluing to one another,
Okay.
probably as a consequence of being warm when they were deposited. But
10
if it's
meters left
a
of
large
that
enough
move.
volume of stuff, the interior can stay warm enough so that actually individual pieces will weld to one another.
How long does it stay warm?
Oh, depends on how thick it is, you know. I mean, it becomes a blanket for itself.
Wow.
And
There's more big
particularly
boulders
rocks
here.
that have a lot of vesicles or gas holes in them.
Oh, big
Oh,
boulder.
We're gonna stop the ship.
Look at that. Wow.
Stop the ship.
Bridge nav.
Rocks with a lot of holes in them are real good
We come to an easy
insulators.
stop.
Wow, lots of big boulders here.
Yep.
Can we
And-
zoom on that fish, please?
We will.
Which
We've had a,
fish? There's hundreds.
yeah.
There's one larger
Looking
one
good.
kind of in the lower
Copilot.
left-hand side
Looking
now
good.
that's heading out of the view.
It may have gone past us, I'm afraid.
No, I think he's looking at the
Look at all these
redfish.
fish.
Wow.
Up at the
I-
top.
Yeah.
There are some on the top. Yep, indeed. Big guys. We'll get up there.
All right, what did you want to look at?
Yeah, there's a redfish over to the left. I think
the left.
Bruce wanted to look at that.
Okay. Okay. Oh, there's one right behind me in Sirius. He's
Yeah.
coming around front.
Here he goes.
There he is.
Oh,
Another
there.
grouper.
That was a grouper.
He might feed.
Let's get the upper stowed, just
Copy that.
to be safe. Is that the redfish at the bottom? We can take a look at that after tar. Is it the one in the upper left you're talking about?
I think the fish is the one kind of
Okay.
right in the center.
We'll zoom in real quick.
Yeah, there you go.
Hold there.
Now you have several fish to choose from there. Larger ones. There's a red one. There's a silvery one.
Oop.
I think this may be the one that's on the upper right. May be a central barrett relative to the Alfonsino.
So
the other
both uppers
reddish
are
fish
oh, I see.
Oh, yeah, I'm working on the other one right now.
Gotcha.
Fish, and I still don't know what the more silvery one
Just
was.
to be
that's,
safe.
off the screen down toward the
Absolutely.
left.
Her lowers are out.
Right.
They're
just
slightly
angled
out right here.
a little bit. Yeah.
So, Bruce, were you
So-
talking?
Ooh.
Oh, here comes the grouper.
Zoom out.
You were talking about the one that
I'm going to
chased
blind you for a second here.
the
Sorry.
smaller
It's fine.
fish. Oh, golly, the grouper's going in after that one that was stripy.
There we go. A little bit more light out there now
Predation
instead.
in action.
Yeah, uppers are stoked.
Golly.
Cool. Just a light angle in the lowers. Should be okay for now.
This
I'll
is
keep a
so
lookout.
cool. Ah,
Yep. It's just all kinds of life here.
All kinds of fish. Lots of very tiny fish up on top of the rock on the right-hand side, too.
Watch your port lower on the rock there.
Bruce says that the stripy redfish was a soldier
partial zoom
fish,
on the wall.
Holocentridae, a stichthes species.
Hold there.
And Mary Jo was wondering if the black-yellow layering is a match for what you were calling the black and tan lithified ash that was downslope about 2 hours ago.
Could be, Mary Jo.
And if so, the blocks put the tan ash younger than the black ash.
That's true. Yeah, it definitely was overlaying the black ash. Yep. Initially, I thought maybe some of that black ash was. Actually, it was. There were fragments of darker black, ashy material on top of some of the lighter colored brown stuff. But that could be currents having washed some of the older stuff. Up over the cliff, because these currents have been real strong at times on this dive.
Swing arms look good.
Okay, thanks.
But I think you're right, Mary Jo.
You want to zoom in so we can get it? This guy is stationary. There's two of them.
So, Bruce, what are these two little guys?
Look how cute they are.
You got any more zoom?
I think these are more of the grammatinoides. They're certainly different than what we saw in previous dives, but we've seen a lot of these on this dive. These are behaving differently, though. They're just sitting there. Most of them usually go for cover. So I'll wait until the larger view comes up on the screen here. We're having a problem with screen freeze again.
Oh, okay. So you're getting static.
So, Bruce,
Okay,
when I
let's zoom out.
first saw these things, I thought they were the diamond tails, but I can clearly see that
So the
this
current's kind of
particular
pushing.
bunch here do not have
Guess
the
it's
diamond
not
tails. So now we have another type of
Too strong. It
grammatinodes.
looks like it's a little bit port to starboard. So
Yeah, I agree. It looks like we've got
I'm
two
gonna
or
go-
three
I'm gonna
species
saddle
in this
starboard
area.
around
We
this
saw
boulder
the
here.
Macrophthalmus type at the beginning of
Sounds
the
good.
Keep an eye
dive,
on
but
the
it's
tether.
long
I
tail.
just zoomed your
Now,
sonar
the
in.
question
Okay,
is, are
thank
these
you.
Give you a
different
little
species, or
Thanks.
are they just
reference.
different life stages, males to females? But the ones that we're seeing now also have a different color, more blue and yellow than the more purple
So
color
just
than
keep an
what
eye on
we
the
saw
tether in
before.
case the
So
current changes
these look like
directions.
something different.
Copy.
I'm getting overwhelmed by fish here. There are a lot in this area.
There sure are. And there's a stalked crinoid sitting on that rock, too.
Do a snap zoom on that. Bring it over. Hold on. Oop, oop, oop.
That crinoid has...
Okay.
Yes, sometimes we see.
This guy has Siri. I think they're called Siri, right, Chris? All the way up
Putting a
the
toe down.
stalk.
There we go.
Yeah, that's the name for them. So I think this is something we've seen before.
It is.
Yep.
Something that in Hawaii we used to think it was in the family Isocrinidae, and again I've forgotten what somebody told us last leg what they thought this was.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Right, I remember it from leg 1, too. Well, leg one also. Sorry.
Sometimes you see these creeping along the bottom, upright, or sometimes prone, flat. So
Yeah.
they're not sessile. They don't just stay in one place. They move around.
Right.
Cool. All right. Just come full wide.
Now, over to the right, there's a larger rock sitting on top of this, and I think there is some animal just to the right of that rock. And I think it has stripes. Nope.
The lower rock or the upper rock?
The small rock on top of the one we're passing by. It's almost at the edge of the left screen.
I'm sorry, I didn't see what you were talking about there.
Up on the top. Up on the very top of the screen, Pilot, coming almost in the center, there's a boulder sitting on top of this giant rock, and it has something white on it. I thought it looked like it was stripy.
Okay.
So I wonder
Is
if we
it
could get
like
into
1
position and
o'clock
take a look at that.
1 o'clock from the lasers?
1 o'clock. No, I'm thinking. Is it 1 o'clock from the lasers?
You see the lasers?
It's either that one or the one a little
From
bit
the
up and
lasers,
left, I
it's
guess.
about
11 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Up here.
11 o'clock. Wow.
Okay.
But as we look at the geology, boy, it's fascinating to see these gigantic boulders in the material that's on top of the finer ash. Okay, that's just sponges. Who cares about sponges?
I know a couple people.
And maybe a couple barnacles. Hey, I'm getting really good out here.
Yep.
And so the striping was the rock between the barnacle and the sponge.
You gonna want me to follow you around when you go around the joint?
So the top layer on this gigantic boulder has really big pieces of rock in it. So it must have been a very forceful pulse of the eruption that expelled all of that material, because you'll see in the layers below that most of the material is kind of uniform in size.
We saw that one already.
And we don't have gigantic boulders like that.
Yes.
And there's a little red fish hiding under a cliff, kind of in the lower left quadrant.
Never mind.
A fairly large fish.
All these small fish here. Set a toe down. We'll try to get it.
Wow, lots of small fish.
Hold on 1 second.
Biologically rich area today.
Yeah, go ahead. So all these little blue and yellow fish, huh? Everyone should come out. My toad's not good here.
See that one, Bruce? It definitely had a diamond tail. So we got all types of Grammys here.
Yeah, you're right. This is also getting at the depth of where you might see some of the Anthian basslets like Musonichthys or even Pseudantheus. So without getting good close-up views, I'd be cautious about calling
there's
out
a little
names for
boulder
these
just my
very abundant little
starboard
fish that
half
are up
quarter.
in the
Yes.
water. Usually the Grammatinotus don't get up into the water column much, as far as we know. They
that with
stay
the
near the
tether.
bottom and near shelter. These are behaving a little bit differently
Turn a
than
little bit more.
Grammatinotus usually do.
Ooh, that's a new fish, isn't it? Snap zoom.
Yeah, what's that?
Another gindai, another bottomfish.
Oh, lots of fish. We have lots of fish here. Some beautiful yellow encrusting sponges in the background.
Okay, let's come out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna move
Bruce, can you
forward.
tell us what we're seeing here? It looks like, yeah, we're going to move forward so we can get some better light on here for you.
Why
Can you
don't we...
bring the swing arms back out, the upper ones?
Yeah, there's a couple new fish in there. We haven't imaged yet. That yellow one with yellow
15, yeah.
coming down, and that's in
Can
the
we
center
bring
right
Sirius towards
now.
me, like,
I think that's the
10 meters
guy.
or
Is
so?
a different type of grouper. It'd be good to get
I'm at
him.
150.
He just dove
Sure,
into a
just this way.
rock.
Yeah.
You have both turned
Okay, well,
kind
we're
of
moving
off.
forward
No,
now.
on the
Right,
right
yes,
side
right.
as well.
Is
If
that-
You
you
want to explore here?
Yeah, there's all these fish here they want to...
Okay.
So the yellow grouper is the golden grouper, Solaptia
So at
powellii. It's
150?
not a genus or species
Yes.
found in the Hawaiian Islands, but it's in
10
the
meters.
western Pacific and also down in American Samoa.
Then we
I
can
just typed
kitty
the
corner
name in on
back up
the
the
Yeah,
slope.
Bruce.
to get moving.
Thanks, Bruce, for putting those all in the chat.
Problem about getting closer is we scare all the fish away.
Yeah, yeah.
Grouper
Bridge
station you
nav.
get too.
I've got a frozen
I have a
screen
ship
here,
move
though, so
10
it'll
meters,
come back in a
bearing
couple of minutes.
150
Okay.
degrees at 0.2 knots.
Can you zoom in? Nice, hold there.
Good copy, Bridge.
Want to keep the lasers on?
We can turn them off.
Okay, these are
Very good.
alphonsins, but not the one that we're used to seeing. These are in the genus Centrobarix, family Baricidae. And we're used to seeing barix, which have the dorsal fin shorter than the anal fin. The genus Centrobarix has the dorsal
Rich.
fin about the same length as the anal fin, and a little deeper bodied, too. So if I'm seeing this correctly, I think these are Centrobarix, and a species that's a possibility. I may not get this name right, but it's Centrobarix drusinini. It's from a Russian name, Drusanin. A very unusual find.
Zoom out.
I don't think this genus has been recorded from the Mariana Islands before. It's known from Japan, and it's known from areas further south, so it's not unexpected.
Okay, pilots, the
But
ship is underway.
again, we may have a first record
Copy
of
that.
the genus on these Okeanos Explorer dives for the Mariana Islands.
Want to zoom in? This other fish, or is the same type? A little bit different, huh?
I think you got a Hoplostepus, right, Bruce?
Good.
Yeah, that's right. This is a roughy. This is another bariciform.
Oh, beautiful.
Family Trachycleidae. The roughy is related to the orange roughy, for which there are big trawl fisheries
A bite
in
taken out of them on the
the
bottom there?
South Pacific, but the ones that we have in the tropical Pacific Islands don't form the big schools. This one's got a different look to it than the others that we've seen on the these guys. So it may
Right
be
there.
a different
Let's hold
species. There are a number of species in the genus. There's another genus is roughly called Gephyroberyx. I'll have to look at when we zoomed in. That one doesn't have enlarged scales on the side of the body, and I don't see enlarged scales along the side of the body at this one, so I may be wrong. This could be Gephyroberyx japonicus, a different genus in the family Tracheidae. I'll take a look at...
ship is stopped.
Cool. Perfect.
Yeah, I'll take a look at the images further on to see if we can get an idea. There's a difference in the shape of
make
the
sure I
dorsal fin
tend
fin on
toward
the
port
back,
to
too,
get
but
back on
that's
track.
partially folded up on that fish.
And what we're seeing, all this yellow are just very thinly encrusting
peek
demo
over there.
sponges. Not sure what they are.
Well, pilot,
Yeah.
this is watch lead
Go ahead.
Patty.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Zoom in. Go ahead, watch lead.
Okay, what we're wondering about is trying to pick up a sample here. That very first sample we got was extremely small and very fragile,
Okay.
and is
cool.
very likely just to dismember itself on the way up.
Okay.
So if you can find something that is an appropriate size, that would be great
And
to
we're
put
looking
into
for
the
a
starboard. One
dark-
of these black, yeah, like
dark
the
rock.
ones in front of you.
You said that might be like hardened ash or something? Is that what I remember hearing?
I'm sorry, say again?
I heard something about being like cemented ash or something. Is that what these are?
Yeah, it's possible that it could be that. Right.
All right, let's zoom out. And do any of these... I mean, does this area look right, or...
Or maybe down a little bit lower part of the screen, there seem to be some smaller ones.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. Just the darkish ones that you can pick up.
What about... Can we get lasers on?
Okay, Mary Jo, if you're listening, can you
Co-pilot? Oh, sorry.
confirm whether we want one of the dark ones or one of the lighter ones?
Don't know that they came
I'm just
on
asking
there.
the shore whether they really
on
do
here.
want a dark one or a lighter one.
That's a good question, Patty. I had typed into the chat once a little bit ago that I had a rock hypothesis for what we're seeing here. I was wondering
There's
if
two
maybe the
dark
dark
ones,
stuff,
like 3 rocks to the right. Might be a little big, but they look...
Right. Composition.
Yeah, they look loose. And
I'm sorry, Mary Jo, you're really breaking up. Can you
yeah, it's
type
too big.
in?
It's like
I'm sorry.
30
Can you
centimeters.
type into the chat log if possible, or are you on Skype?
She's in the chat room.
Starboard.
Okay, if you can type here, can you tell
about
me
that
whether you
design,
want
yeah.
one of the dark
it's a good
rocks or
looking
one of the
rock.
lighter brown
What
rocks?
size?
15 centimeters.
So we have both forwards free, or do we only have
Only the starboard.
starboard? Okay.
Yeah.
What about one of these, watch lead?
She's, yeah,
Okay.
thank you, pilot. One of the dark ones is what she would prefer. We collect. And there are a variety of them. There's some down below the lasers that when the lasers is on is a little bit too light. The one just to the left of it would be perfect.
The one to the left. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Back up a bit.
I don't know. I can't get her. I'm just going to do it.
I heard that, watch lead. So this one that the lasers is on,
Yeah.
right there?
Right there. Thank you.
Okay.
Yep, that's the one.
Is that big enough? Only 4 inches will cross.
That is a good hand specimen size.
Okay, we're sure?
Yes, we're sure.
All right.
Okay, hydraulics are on. Ready for you. Want me to go ahead and pull up your mini?
Hold on.
Want me to set you up?
We'll have
with
to
mini?
check it
Just
and
making
see
sure
if
I'm
it's
steady.
stuck to the
Sorry.
bottom.
Yep. Go ahead. Steady.
What are we calling this?
We are calling this a piece of
Okay, hydraulics are on.
Hydraulics are on. The
let's
rock
say
box isn't out yet. No, I
welded
haven't
volcanic
put it
plastics.
inboard.
That's fine. We can wait.
Okay. I would suggest the starboard, just because that's it.
Let's see. Twitch.
I think we have a fish in our rock box.
Right.
Watch the nav.
Go ahead, watch it.
Wonder if you could get us a position for this location.
It'll be entered in when they
Yeah, I think when
they
you
enter
hit,
it in.
That's
when you hit the
automatically.
button.
Okay.
Yeah, they enter it in.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh.
We also back it up.
Not quite.
It's kind of down in there, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, good job.
Okay, let's bring the wing inboard.
Bring a wing inboard.
Gonna get some images.
Want to image it? Sure.
Yep, a little fish in there. 2 little fish.
I'm going to get a close-up of that.
Yeah,
ahead,
we're
Ron.
getting a view now of the sample with the zoom camera, and it has some has a barnacle on it. It looks.
Actually, sponge. It's got a sponge on it.
Sorry, it's a sponge.
Let's get a focus here.
A lot of worm tubes. Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like a good piece of volcanic plastics.
The elbows seem to be okay that time.
That's a great rock.
Something with force
But it
feedback.
didn't have that yellow sponge
Yeah,
on it.
definitely.
Actually, I
Go
think
ahead,
it's got a little
rotate.
bit of yellow up at the top
I don't know
there.
if that's the same thing.
You think?
I guess
I don't
it
think
could
it's the
be
same
the,
thing.
We'll find out.
yeah, definitely. It could be a
Yeah,
problem
we
with the
like
Mini
this.
Master, maybe.
We
Could be
like this a
anything, I
lot.
guess.
Thank you so much.
How's that rolling?
Not the smoothest turn.
I'm using the. Thanks, Ron.
Oh.
Jeez.
What did Roland
I
say?
was using the continuous roll button, actually. I can make it smoother if you want.
That's more what I'm used to. You
That's
flying.
manual.
Oh,
Auto is more
makes
jerky.
me nervous. Yes, we need to put it in the
All right,
box.
let's get it in the box.
Stop
Have to make
playing,
Roland
guys.
happy.
Our standard procedure is to image all sides of it to identify any species
Bio.
that might be on it,
Any epibionts.
and also to get a general shape should they get confused once they arrive on the surface.
And to give the pilots even more practice. All right,
Oh, pilots, that's
starboard,
great.
forward
It
rock
is
box.
in the box. Thank you so much, and it didn't fall apart much. A little piece fell off, but most of it's there.
Okay, let's bring the mini Zeus around.
Oh, okay. Just gonna bring it outboard too.
Thank you, pilot. Mary Jo Bruce says, "Hooray! Thanks."
Okay, and outboard.
Did you guys image that white fuzzy thing in the distance of the main HD?
So this would be
Not sure yet, Roland.
sample.
Looks like a potential holothurian white. in
Maybe a
the
little further
center.
over there.
There we go.
Tara's back.
Okay, that's good.
All right.
You have control again.
Cool, thanks. So wings are stored. Did you bump the box in?
Yeah.
Okay.
In. No, I didn't bring the drawer in. I just put it outboard, the wing.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
We'll just do that later. Okay, so now we got it back on track, right?
Well, if you just look at HIPAC for a moment, we were just coming up kind of perpendicular to this ridge to get roughly here to then head up it.
Okay.
So, yeah, really anywhere, you know, from 080 to 110 should just get us in this general area.
Okay, why don't we kitty corner a bit, and can we go, well, I'll come up a bit and get a look, and then
I'll swing around with you.
I'm thinking, like,
yeah,
we just do 110, and
yeah, that's closest.
yeah, but I'll take a look here, make sure.
There's probably, this might be the most interesting terrain too. It's been the most interesting so far.
Yeah.
So it'd be good to look at more of it.
Okay.
So we are coming to you live from the Okeanos Explorer, and this is Noah's office. And I can't talk.
Okay.
Surely you do it. I'll have to wait till my cold goes away. I was trying.
You know what? This is like on cue. Every time we start to do this, a grouper comes in.
Yeah.
Every single time. Okay. Well, what Patty was trying to say is
Cough,
we
cough.
are on the NOAA ship, Okeanos Explorer, which is America's ship for ocean exploration, and we are coming to you live and in person from a place called Supply Reef as we explore the unknown regions of the Marianas Trench National Marine Monument. We have lots of partners who are making this all possible.
We'll hang out here for a bit, but
Do you want another 15?
Lots of NOAA partners. First of
this could
all,
actually be the
its
top of the ridge.
mission is designed and
So
supported
we don't
by
wanna call
NOAA's
30
Office of
meters and
Ocean
end up-
Exploration and Research, and the
So could
ship
do
is
a-
operated
could do a
by
15
NOAA's
session.
Office of
Yeah,
Marine
that's fine.
and
And then you
Aviation's
stretch out, you should get
Operations.
to where we think it is.
sure.
This current expedition is part
if
of a
not, then
three-year
we'll turn and follow the
campaign
ridge.
to address the Pacific
110.
Monument Science,
Yeah, 110.
Technology, and Ocean Needs. So it's called CAPSTONE. That's the acronym. And some of the key partners in
now.
this effort are NOAA's National Marine Fisheries
Can we get a
Service,
ship move
NOAA
20
Marine National
meters,
Monuments
bearing
Program,
110 at
the
0.2
Deep Sea Coral
knots.
Research and Technology Program, and the National Center for Environmental Information. Part of what we're doing is
Good copy, Rich.
getting data and some samples, and all of these data and samples that we collect are publicly available within 60 to 90 days after they're collected. So this is extremely fast for data to be made available to the
Do a
public.
partial zoom on that school out
Typical
there.
timeline would be about 2 to 3 years.
Hold there.
We have a number of partners at
They just
universities.
swim away, but
Yeah, look at all those fish. Some of them are represented by the scientists that you are hearing making comments and explaining,
Get lasers
describing
off.
what it is that we're seeing.
Lasers coming on.
And your science team leads are myself, Shirley Pomponi from Harbor Branch Oceanographic Institute, Florida Atlantic University, and NOAA's OER's Cooperative Institute for Ocean Exploration, Research, and Technology, and Patty Fryer. We're going to switch places.
okay, let's zoom out.
Oh, there's something in the
Yes.
water column right in front of you. It's a jellyfish. Oh.
On the
Okay,
island,
say that again, Patty.
I have to say this all over again. And
So
this
yeah,
is
this
difficult
might be
for
the
me because I have a
top, huh?
cold and my
Yeah, it
throat
looks
isn't
like it.
behaving. But nevertheless,
You can push
I
out
am
and peek.
Patty Fryer, who is a research professor at the University of Hawaii. Ooh, good fish. And I am at the University of Hawaii, Manoa, at the Hawaii Institute of Geophysics and Planetology, and that's on the island of Oahu in the state of Hawaii, which is a state, folks. When you come and
there,
visit, don't
sonar
say.
out attack.
Okay.
Well, when I get
Definitely
back
the
to the
top.
States.
Okay, so in addition to
Okay,
to the
your
two of
sonar's
us
out to
and the
30.
NOAA folks who are on this ship, another very important partnership is the partnership that we have
Seems
with
like
the
the ridge would
Global
be roughly
Foundation
like
for Ocean
130
Exploration, and that's the acronym for that is
maybe?
GFOE.
Bring it back
So
over.
they operate and maintain these amazing vehicles, these remotely operated vehicles, Sirius and Deep Discoverer 2, as well as designing it. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me, Roland.
Head on over there.
And they are our ROV crew and videographers.
Yes, I think.
Yeah.
Let me zoom out a tad. I think it's more due south, but of course it could wind around.
Crew, what do you want to introduce yourselves, ROV crew? Tell us who you are. They're all from the Global Foundation for Ocean Exploration.
Yeah, so on nav this afternoon is our chief navigator, Carl McCletchy. And I'm Dan Rogers, and I'm on pilot. And we have Andy Lister on co-pilot. And as you said, we all work for the Global Foundation for Ocean Exploration, a partner with NOAA OER in maintaining and operating the deep submergence vehicles.
Don't forget Tara.
And Tara. Sorry,
and Annie.
Acting as video
I'm
team.
sorry. Yes, of course, Tara Smithy.
Also from the Global Foundation for Ocean Exploration.
A great video editor who makes a lot of the highlights that you see on the website and on the Facebook.
As well as
Annie White. Yep, she's back there.
She's back there. Another award-winning videographer.
Yeah, another great editor, also making highlights this cruise.
Yep.
Her
Great.
first time out with us in the Okeanos. We're happy to have her.
First time at sea.
Is it your first time at sea? Wow,
Yeah, it
okay.
definitely is. It's a lot of fun so far.
And what Annie is doing is that she's taking clips of what we're
Just a
seeing
couple
live.
meters left in this move.
And what
then you should
will
be able to
happen
line
is that
up.
these clips
Headpack
will
says
be
due south, but
available
whatever
to
your
anybody
sonars
who
say.
wants to take a look at them at the Okeanos
Just for
Explorers
situational awareness,
website.
I am over you, but
So
we're
you know,
not
if you
in
see something
trouble.
here that you'd like to take another look at, you are
Should be very
welcome to go
flat
there and just
we go on this ridge.
peruse through the clips that we've got
Yeah, no, I'm
of
seeing
all
like a
of these times.
150.
Yeah, no altitude change for 100 meters. Or no.
Surely it looks like there are about 15
A
crinoids on the
gazillion
rock up
stalked
front.
crinoids. Yes, we are in stalked crinoid city.
I'm sorry, guys. I keep forgetting to introduce video, too. I'll make sure I do that in the future. I should know better.
Don't worry, we'll remind you.
It's okay. Whenever you're on video, we'll forget.
What we're diving on today is a ridge
I see how it
that
is.
runs up the side of a volcano on the Mariana Arc. And as we get
You want me to
up
shift over to
here
150
closer
after this
to
move,
the summit,
roughly?
what we're beginning to see
Yeah,
is that
yeah.
a lot of the
How
rocks
much
that
left
are
in
up
the move?
here
Move
have
just
broken
finished.
apart,
Okay,
obviously.
Right now.
The
Just come
reason
over and
for
follow
this
me.
is
Come on
that
over.
this particular volcano sits on a very large fault that cuts right through the volcano from the northwest to the southeast. And
think we can get the
very often
upper
volcanoes
centers
of the
out.
Mariana
See
Arc
that?
grow on a big fault
up
that has
hydraulics?
broken apart this entire system over the last 10 million years or so.
Ooh, is that an
So
eel? Zoom
the
in.
reason that that's happening is that the Pacific plate is being subducted at the trench.
That's something.
As the
I would say
trench
bottom fish.
subducts
I think it is
that
an eel.
plate,
Is it the
it
tail
is
of the eel?
pulled
I think so.
Or
eastward.
bottom? Qatar might be
And
right.
I'll tell you more of
Take
the
a bet.
story in a minute, but we're going to talk about
bet
the
she's
fish
right.
that's in
You
this
try to pull it
crevice.
out.
What do we have? An eel in there.
Is that an
Okay.
eel? It's a
Tyler's
cusk eel?
changed
I think
her,
it's a fish. I think it's a
Fish,
fish. Yes, it is. It's a
Okay.
cusk eel.
Synactobranchid.
Jeff Drazen, are you?
An unusual.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's turning
Sorry,
around for us.
yeah, I think I'll let Bruce handle this one. I think I know what it is, but there's also an unusual fish to the left after he's done with this one.
Sorry.
Okay.
All right, holding partial.
Oh, and brittle star.
Yeah,
So there's
white.
a- yeah,
Zoom
apparently,
out.
an,
There's
yeah.
another fish to the left. That's what I hear.
This is a whiskered cusk eel in the genus Brachula. Is that cusk eels used
Oh,
to be
you're,
called
if you go back to the
Brachula,
HPU
it's a
status
common
screen,
name.
you see how it says at the bottom speed out of regulation?
Yeah.
So ramp back down and disable the HPU.
In the
and re-enable.
Pacific, in the Central Pacific, one of them is kind of a yellow
And
color.
as you bring it up,
The
you want to
other
make sure
two
that it
are
says no fault.
separated on the eye side.
Okay.
You'll have to look at the images.
I got it.
There you
There
go.
was a little brief moment where you could see the head and the
Looks like
eye.
I'm deploying.
One of the species, or both species, Brachula multibarbata, multiple whiskered Brachula, and Brachula townsendii, can occur up into shallow waters, diving depths. They're usually nocturnal. They don't like the light. But sometimes you can see them on night dives or by looking back in crevices. So it's in the genus Brachula. It could be Brachula multibarbata, but there's the smaller eyed species, townsendii. They when divers see them poking their heads out of crevices at night, sometimes they think they're looking at a catfish because of all of the whiskers, but we don't have saltwater catfish